Hey guys, Mustafa's version of Blue's Clues here, and here's yet another one of my November notebook review videos in which this is for number 8, and this is going to be on my regular Joe notebooks, in which this is going to be my very first November notebook review videos on my Joe notebook, since the previous videos on what I did are actually all of these Steve notebooks, which all of them not only the regular one, but also the other types of different variants, in which those were the only Steve notebook version I did. But right now, this video for number 8 is actually going to be the very first one of my Joe notebooks I have. So, yeah. I would have originally started with the wooden replica one, but I'm going to prefer to start off with the handcrafted first, in which this is the one I bought off of eBay back in 2023. Yeah, I had this for a long while. This is the first one I bought, and of course, yeah, I can tell this notebook, the handcrafted, actually has a little bit of pages left, in which I honestly did not buy any of the refills of the Joe handcrafted notebook pages yet, but hopefully sometime soon. For sure I should be getting a lot more refill pages to refill this notebook. The reason that there's a bit pages, mainly it's because I've been using that notebook to draw the paper pages on it a lot, and yep, after the pages I must have used it to draw, I keep drawing a lot already, and yep, these were the pages left. There are a few little left on that notebook. Unlike before that there's much, but because of a lot of pages I keep using it to draw a lot, there's a little bit of pages left. And I'm hoping to get more refill pages to put more pages on that handcrafted notebook, of course. So yeah, this is the first one I have. It originally came with the green checker pattern crayon whenever I got this notebook, but I took off the wrapper for that crayon and used it on something else, in which I didn't use that crayon on that notebook anymore since I took off the wrapper and used it for something else. So, but however, the good news is that I actually do happen to have other handcrafted Joe crayons, which for that notebook, in which the crayons I bought are from eBay back in March of this year, if any of y'all remembered, and I'll show them to you all right now. Just let me get these out, and here's the design of the logo I made. I did it back in the beginning of 2024, which that was the very first box I have this whole time. Mainly it's because I keep using it. The first time I started using this after I got that package from 2024, which after when I bought his Joe Checker pattern crayons off of writing utensils, in which we'll get into that either momentarily or in a second. Right now, first off, I'm just actually going to show you. I'm just actually going to show y'all the handcrafted crayons for this notebook, since this is the very first Joe notebook I have. This is the first one, so yeah, I'm just going to prefer to show y'all the handcrafted Joe crayons first before I move on to the replica one. But first, I'm going to show y'all the handcrafted crayons, of course, and here they are. And of course, y'all can see, I actually already took off the brown wrapper, and I threw that one out, and I even put the orange checker pattern one instead, which is y'all can see right now. Yep, it's got that orange checker pattern on the crayon wrapper. And I even used, not only I used glue, I think, but I also used tape, and well, I think, but I bet any of y'all don't see tape, but maybe at least it's glue. So Yep, that's the best way I could go with to do it for this Orange Joe Checker Pattern crayon. Yep, cool design. This is the one I actually used to customize it. Because I don't see the Orange Joe Checker Pattern crayon whenever I got these crayon set from eBay from that sale from the Handcrafted notebooks, which is back in March of this year, and because of how I only see the brown wrapper instead, yep, I took it off, throw that one out, and replace it with this orange wrapper right here so I could see, and looks perfectly much better this time. Green one was the first ever to be used in Steve Goes to College episode, and I honestly would say that the orange one was also the first one to be used in Colors Everywhere, but to be honest, I would say absolutely not, because in Colors Everywhere episode, the notebook, the crayon wrapper was actually still green. Well, although in Colors Everywhere episode, when Joe draws the third clue in Colors Everywhere episode, the red checker pattern crayon is shown, but I've seen the crayon in green wrapper whenever Joe did his thinking time in Colors Everywhere episode, in which that's the green wrapper shown. So I prefer to say it's actually still the green wrapper in Colors Everywhere episode for that Joe notebook. So for the orange wrapper of the Joe crayon, I would say it was the first time ever used in Playing Store episode. So yeah. And this yellow one, it was the first time used in a brand new game episode. And of course, not only I did customize the crayon for the orange wrapper, but I also customized it for the yellow one, since for that yellow checker pattern Joe crayon I bought, after I bought one of the crayon set, just because for the yellow checker pattern crayon, I see it intact, and and of course it was in great shape. The crayon was perfect, the yellow checker pattern one, and I actually did use one of the yellow checker pattern crayons from the crayon set, and I've used the yellow one for the yellow Joe shirt notebook, in which I used this still the whole time, since after the crayon for the Joe shirt broke, so I used one of the another yellow Joe crayons, in which I used another one of them for my yellow Joe shirt Joe notebook, in which, because the crayon is in much better shape, and since after I already use it, that's how I already used another one of the black crayons just to customize this yellow checker pattern Joe crayon. Yep, even this yellow one I also did customize too as well, just like the orange one. So, yep. As I said, the first time ever Blue's Clues episode to use this yellow checker pattern crayon was a brand new game. And for the red checker pattern crayon, I would say it was the first time ever used in Blue's Clues episode Colors Everywhere, in which it was shown whenever Joe draws the third clue for the puppy in Colors Everywhere episode. But I would say that the first time ever red checker pattern crayon to be used was either the boat float or shape searchers. I don't know, but maybe I prefer Colors Everywhere because the red wrapper shown whenever Joe draws the puppy in during the third clue in Colors Everywhere episode. So I guess even Colors Everywhere I should call it the first episode, since because the red wrapper of the crayon shown whenever Joe draws the third clue. And of course the crayons I could see, it already has been used. Mainly it's because I did some recordings of me drawing the clues for the 3 episodes: Shape Searchers, the Boat Float, the Scavenger Hunt, and Colors Everywhere, which 4 of the episodes I used that crayon to draw clues on that notebook. which to explain why there are a bit pages left. Because I did some recording of me drawing clues with that crayon, which for 4 episodes, as I said. So, yeah, maybe that's why y'all seen the crayon like this. Mainly it's because I did recording of me using that crayon to draw clues in it. And of course, the episodes I did not do yet. Mainly it's because I've been a lot busier and they're still not yet up this whole time. But hopefully, for sure, I really do have time for me to do shape searches episode, the boat float, colors everywhere, and the scavenger hunt for these 4 episodes. Hopefully soon, if hopefully I have the time for me to do these episodes, of course. Yeah, if hopefully after I have time, I should be doing these episodes. But right now, honestly, the time's going to depend, and I cannot guarantee since I have a lot of work coming in my mind. So, yeah, I'm sorry I cannot guarantee if I could do these 4 set episodes as I already said right now, but hopefully, for sure, I really do hope I could do these 4. So, yeah. And of course, here's this blue checker pattern crayon, in which the first time that blue checker pattern crayon for that Joe notebook was used is Joe's surprise party, in Joe's surprise party, Periwinkle, Slippery Soap, and Tickety Talk actually used the Joe notebook instead to draw all 3 clues since Joe's outside. And yep, that's the first time this blue checker pattern crayon was used on that Joe notebook. So yeah. And this purple checker pattern crayon for that Joe notebook, this purple checker pattern crayon, the first time Blue's Clues episode was used on that purple checker pattern crayon was Dress Up Day. And for this colorful pajama styled crayon, honestly, it was not used in any of the Blue's Clues episodes, but they included this, mainly it's because the house, since Joe wears the pajamas and bedtime business and morning music, and that crayon is not used, and they decided to do this replica of the crayon just to make it the exactly same way of the shirt where it was before. And yep, I bet that's why they made the crayon like this. And yep, looks pretty beautiful. And yeah, these were the handcrafted crayons for the notebook. And these crayons I should be using to draw clues, just like what I did with the red one. Yep, all of these crayons I will be using to draw clues whenever I did Joe episodes next time. And of course, I should do notebook sounds for y'all if any of y'all want to see. I'll do the green checker pattern crayon, since the Handcrafted Joe notebook on that Handcrafted website and on eBay always did come with the green checker pattern crayon. So, yep, I prefer to use the green one instead. So, and of course, not only that, but the green one was the very first one to be used in Steve Goes to College. So, that's why. So, yeah. Liked it already then. Like, right, let's see how this sounds. Right. Let me try that again. Of course, yeah, I can tell, that's the recording I did of me drawing this balloon with the red checker pattern crayon. Yep. Here y'all go for the proof. Yep, that's the recording of me I did along with the other drawing videos I did. So, yep, that's why y'all seen it. Just wanted to do what this sounds like. Hang on, y'all. Okay, and I think that's it on what I've got to say for these. I believe that is it on what I've got to say for this Handcrafted Joe notebook right here. So, yeah, and 15 minutes of the video has been wasted since I've been doing a lot of reviews on that, on those handcrafted crayons, on that Handcrafted Joe notebook. Right. So like, yeah, anyways, with that being said, that's all I've got to say for this Handcrafted Joe notebook right here, and that's it. So the next Joe notebook that I'm going to be talking about in this video is actually the next one, and it's the wood replica Joe notebook. Yep, this is the very first notebook I bought off of Writing Utensils website, and yep, this notebook was definitely the very first one, and this is actually my very first time I bought off Writing Utensils website. My very first time buying something in Writing Utensils website. The very first time was, I believe, the end of September of 2023, or in the very beginning of October. Either one of those two. I don't know. But I do know that this is actually my very first time buying something off of Writing Utensils website. Yep, my first time buying something from Writing Utensils website back in 2023. And this is the first one right here. Yes, the wooden replica Joe notebook. And I bought this mainly it's because I really do like the wooden replica notebooks, the way how it sounds. Just like in the actual TV shows, and because of that, just like in the Blue's Clues series, that's how Blue Spoon Dylan made those replica notebooks the exactly same way on what he did, just like in the show. And yep, this is the way how the notebook looks like. And because of how I bought this notebook, it did come with the blue checker pattern crayon. Hang on. Yep, that's the main crayon for that notebook. Nice replica design, y'all. Yep, I love that design, and so do I. And of course, if any of y'all remembered, I did notebook prop sounds on that replica Joe notebook. The 7 or 6, or I should say, or let's say 7, mainly because of the 2 blue shirt ones. Like, yep, mainly it's because of for these 7 shorts I did for that notebook sound videos. I've already shown it to y'all, but if you want me to do the sounds again, then sure, no problem. So yeah. Cool, huh? Yeah, I like this wood replica Joe notebook. And to be real quick, here's what the comparison to on what the size of it looks like. Take a look. Yeah, did any of y'all notice this? Yeah, this replica notebook, that Joe notebook, was actually a lot bigger than this handcrafted notebook right here, so y'all can see. Mainly it's because the way how this notebook made was actually the same way as the TV show series itself, so this is the way that how this notebook looks like. And because of how the blue checker pattern crayon, that main one was used for that notebook, I also did buy and buy 6 Joe checker pattern crayons from writing utensils as well, in which these were the crayons I bought. I ordered it off his website back in 2023, which is before New Year's, and it arrived in 2024, in which, to explain why I still had this box this whole time. Mainly it's because these crayons came inside this box, and I still have it this whole time. So, yeah. And here are the replica crayons for this replica Joe notebook. Yep, these were the replica Joe crayons I bought off of Writing Utensils website as well, in which I decided to buy these crayons of it. Mainly it's because to do the exactly same way as the TV show series itself, and I do not want to miss out on that, so I prefer these just to buy them as real quick. Just like Hayden Spypalt when he got these replica crayons from the Writing Utensils as well. So, yeah. And here they are, and here they are, y'all. Sorry if I can't speak right now. I'm just going a bit too fast. Just trying to get this done. My apologies. But if hopefully I should be okay. But like anyways, here are the replica crayons. This is another blue one, the new one, and the green one, orange one, yellow one, red one, and purple one. Cool. Sadly, there's no pajama styled crayon wrapper for the crayon which is made by Writing Utensils, since that crayon was never used in the episode, but honestly don't care since I do like the 6 colors of the replica crayons for that replica notebook. Yeah, I honestly do like the replica crayons, the 6 colors. Yeah, I like them a lot. They're pretty beautiful. And I believe that is it on what I have to say for the replica or November notebook review videos on my Joe notebook. Yep, I believe that's it on what I've got to say, and yep, I guess that's it. That's everything what I've got to show y'all, and yeah. Ooh. Hang on. Just let me put this crayon in this bag, of course. Just by leaving it that way so I don't get confused. So, yep, that's why I prefer to leave this crayon inside this bag. The main one. So, yeah. And I think that's it. So, yeah. And of course, before I end this, I'm going to show you all the comparison size to it one more time. Yep, here's the comparison to it, and that's it. This is what I've got to show y'all and what I have to say. Sorry if my talking's a bit screwed. Like, yeah, I was a bit rushing and trying to get this done. So, yep, but at least if this is my first November notebook review videos on my regular Joe notebooks. And yeah, I guess that's it what I've got to show y'all and what I've got to say. So, that's it.